Hello and welcome back to Northbridge Café. I'm your host, Unstoppable Awesomeness, and in this video, I'll be showing you guys how to properly install drivers for your Windows machine. This process is applicable anytime that you've installed a fresh copy of Windows, most notably after having installed Windows on the PC that you just built. This process is very simple, so let's get right into it. With the first installation of Windows, or when it detects any new hardware, Windows will attempt to install the best driver for that component. But for hardware such as your GPU, it will only install a basic compatibility driver which works well enough to be able to get display output and navigate the OS. However, this RMAC process is not perfect and a lot of the time will install an old or outdated driver which could potentially cause problems. So best practice would be to manually download and install the latest drivers that were created for your specific hardware. This will ensure that your hardware functions the way it was designed to. The first set of drivers you want to get can be found on your motherboard manufacturer's website. Doing a simple Google search of your motherboard's model should bring up the manufacturer's website. I will be using Gigabyte for this tutorial. On this page, you want to go to the support section. Then select the section named Downloads or Drivers. The website should now ask you for your operating system. Enter that information and you should now see a couple of options for drivers. The ones you need are audio, LAN, and chipset drivers. If your motherboard happens to have built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, you will also want to grab the drivers for those. Proceed to download the latest version of each driver from the list I mentioned before. They will download as a zip file. After you finish downloading each of these drivers, right-click on the zip files and extract them. With them now unzipped, enter each folder and look for the installer. It will most likely be called Setup EXE. Run this EXE and follow the on-screen prompts, making sure to restart your computer immediately whenever the installer asks you to. Once you have finished installing the audio, LAN, chipset, and if applicable Wi-Fi and Bluetooth drivers, you can now move on to your GPU drivers. If you have an APU, that is a CPU that has a built-in graphics, and don't have a dedicated GPU installed in your system, then you will want to go back to the website you were just at. This time, you want to download the latest VGA driver and follow the same process previously described to install it. Most likely, you will have a dedicated GPU, in which case you will want to navigate to the website of the company who makes the chip inside of your GPU. If you have an NVIDIA card, you will want to go to the NVIDIA website. The link to this will be in the description down below. If you have an AMD card, you will want to go to the AMD website. The link to this will also be in the description down below. At this point, you can either download and run a tool that will auto-detect what GPU you have and install a driver that matches, or you can manually search for your GPU model and download the latest driver yourself. If you choose to do the latter, as always, be sure to run the installer EXE. After that, you should be done. There really isn't much to this process. If this video helped you, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And also check out our Discord, where we provide direct support for any issue. I'm your host, Unstoppable Awesomeness, and I'll see you guys later.